Good morning or good afternoon to you, Europe. It's America calling. Alesia Michelle here, and I am going to be giving you my first reaction to Israel's first rehearsal in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Now, it might be helpful for people. I'm going to say this because I think people have forgotten this. I'm going to say positives and I'm going to say some negatives because this is a rehearsal. And with rehearsals, you get notes so then you have the opportunity to fix it and come back and do better and all of that stuff. So I just want to get that out of the way. I probably should have said that earlier today on some of my other streams because I think people forget that. They think I'm just going to sit in a whole entire video and like gush over it. If I have a note, I'm going to provide said note. If I have a thing that I think that they could do better, I'm going to share it. If I really can't think of anything, then I can't think of anything. So everyone knows, I feel like Set Me Free in Israel this year, it's been like such a journey we've been on. All the songs, the reveals, like just everything with Israel this year. And I have been on a journey and I went from kind of going, oh, I don't think Israel will qualify to, if you look at my prediction, I was like, after the revamp, I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're going to qualify. So we have this first rehearsal to kind of go off of. So let me just break down what we saw. She's got on a black and white, like kind of smock dress, big shoulders, cute mini dress, black and white. The dancers are also in black and white. And it's sort of like, think about what's the pressure, Laura Tesoro, how she's kind of like walking through, leading this crew. So it's her, Eden in the front, and these dancers are kind of following her around throughout the song. And then the LEDs that we are seeing are basically just like, remember when they had the lyric videos to all of the demo tracks for Eden? It's like that same font and that same color scheme with the purple, the pinks and the blues, which is really interesting because we have Croatia, which is just 2 songs above that sort of has that same color palette going forward. So we're going back to kind of the pink, purple, and blue with what Israel's doing, at least in the LEDs and some of the lighting. She does have a costume reveal where they sort of remove the white and black dress, and then she's sort of wearing this sort of like, I've seen them before, mostly when I've seen stuff like this, it's sort of like the rope dresses that sort of like cover you in all like the right bits. I don't know how I feel about the reveal outfit. I think I would feel better if maybe the rope dress was like white, because right now it sort of is creating this nude effect in not the best way. I think it would be better if it was white, or even bringing in that LED where maybe the rope effect over, it's like one of the purples, the pinks, or the blues. I just think that would be more effective of like a reveal, because it's sort of like a reveal and then she's kind of like looking naked. And I don't think that that's really what they're going for. I think it's supposed to be like, set me free now. I'm kind of wearing something like cute and sexy. And especially with all of the good styling that we have, where we've got, Elena dripping glitter, and, Albina has this sort of futuristic bodysuit with pops of glitter, just to reveal. And it's not something with glitter or something that lights up or something that's like this pop of color, feels a little bit underwhelming. And that's kind of defeating the purpose of like a costume reveal. Like if it's a costume reveal, you want people to take it off and go like, boom, not like, boom, is she naked? Does she have clothes on? You want, boom, oh, that lit up, or like, boom, look at all that glitter, like sparkling and shining. Yeah. So, so I think they're running it, or no, I don't think they're running it again. Or at least I'm not seeing that. So, yeah, so she did hit the whistle notes. So yeah, let's talk about the vocal. She did hit the whistle notes. It seems like she hit the whistle notes with ease. The rest of the song felt slightly labored, but I imagine she's probably been doing tons of interviews. We can stop those. We don't need to do any more of those. Real talk. Or maybe just do 1 interview a day. We don't need to keep doing interviews because it seemed the rest of the vocal felt like a little bit labored. But the whistle notes she hit fairly comfortably. The vocal was definitely better in the second run because I think they added some of the mix to it and, added some reverb and whatnot. So overall, I think the vocal improved in the second run. I'm not going to lie. This is not the most ambitious staging of the semi. And honestly, sometimes when you have ambitious staging, it comes off as like doing too much and it feels really produced. And I think people at home feel disconnected to it because it's like once it's like really produced, then I think some people might find it difficult to connect with you. So this definitely doesn't feel overproduced, but it does feel like staging that could have been at Eurovision, maybe even like 5 years ago, because they're not really playing a lot with the technology. So although the vocal is very ambitious, the staging isn't really that ambitious. This is a straightforward dance pop song. And honestly, when I was doing my reaction to Albena's performance, I did see someone in the comments that was sort of like, oh, it just feels too produced and feels plastic. So I think there are some people who like to see that level of production. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a nerd. I want to see a show. I'm like, if you got all the bells and whistles, give us the bells and whistles. But then there are some people who want to connect with the artist, and sometimes it can be difficult to do that with all the technology around. So I think it's just it depends upon what folks are sort of into. Let me hop into these comments. Alesia Veda, I think staging will be great. Xplout222 says, can 12 songs qualify? I mean, I'd love for 12 songs to qualify. Someone asked, Ahmed says, seems like Israel might get overshadowed. I'm not going to lie. My first instinct with the first run of this, I was like, oh no. Oh no, because so many people are doing kind of so much more with the staging, and it's weird because in some ways the staging feels young with like the whole set me free lyrics. Like it literally, the LEDs are very much so like the lyric video. So if you remember the lyric video, when they were demoing out the songs, that's really sort of what you see on the screens. And that's the color scheme that we have. So there's something about that feels very youthful. And some of the energy, there's moments where she's like, ha! And she's kind of giving that youthful pop, which is obviously very different than, Alene and Albina, who are giving this more like adult female diva performance, where I think Eden is giving us a little bit more of that like youthful spunk, which I think is a good thing. But then I'm slightly confused with the reveal and the outfit that we have under it, because the outfit feels, because it's dark, it really does like mute onto her skin. It just doesn't pop on the camera. So I hope that, I don't mind them doing a reveal, but if there's going to be a reveal, it needs to be glitter. It needs to light up. It needs to be something, maybe a pink. It needs to be a color that really does pop. So then when you have that reveal, it's like, oh, and now we got this look. Right now we don't have that. Thank you, Marzipan. I'm trying, y'all. Whew, I've been up for hours at this point. Alesia Veda, well, Eden will not disappoint us, I hope. I mean, I do think that she's going to do her best, but I do worry that maybe just in this stacked semi, because this is the thing, it needs to get the jury points, and some of those juries are going to give points really for innovation and the staging. Juries are going to give, I think, some bonus points for that. And right now, just looking at today, I do think Cyprus's just looked very polished and professional. It looked very clean. There wasn't a whole bunch of stuff on the stage, so the performance looked really slick. And then Albina is just using like all the bells and whistles and technology. And then we know Azerbaijan is coming up, and they're probably going to pull out all the stops. So then I worry if Israel then becomes muted, because, as everyone knows, I do think that this is like the best revamp. I like the song so much more now. And some people in my It's a Skip video thought that I was saying Israel was a skip. If you notice, I don't say that it's a skip. Every other song I say it's a skip after. Hers, it was a skip. And then after the revamp, it was like I was setting her free from the It's a Skip playlist. But not all of y'all got that joke. So yeah. Whew. But just in a stacked semi, I'm now concerned for it. But, if those whistle notes come through, which, like I said, in these rehearsals, the whistle notes were done flawlessly. The whistle notes happened. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, the whistle notes happened. But like I said, the rest of the vocal was a little bit labored. And so it kind of begs the question with the rehearsals that she's been doing. And I mean, look, we've seen her perform live before. So, this could just be, she's been talking all day, she's tired. And so, her vocal just wasn't like completely all that it needs to be. Again, these are not vocal rehearsals. And we've heard Eden sing live before. So I'm not really worried about the vocal for her overall. What I'm concerned about is the staging. Is the staging enough to make it stand out in this semi that we know is a bloodbath? Raven, I'm going to lose a song that I love. Let It Be Israel, because I'm not ready to let songs like Romania or Australia go. Well, I'm not going to lie, Raven. I think we might need to let Australia go. We have nothing to go off of. We don't know. So to me, Australia is like low-key gone just off the fact that it's not present right now. I love Technicolor. I love the song. But arguably, even looking at the live on tape for Technicolor, unless they're adding some augmented reality to it, which I think I heard that for the live on tapes, they weren't going to have augmented reality and stuff. So even just looking at what Montaigne did, I think Montaigne might be in the same boat as Israel, where we've got a strong song. And even if it's delivered flawlessly vocally on stage, maybe juries, because these are juries of media professionals, not just a panel of music experts, really they're panels of media professionals is what I would say. They're going to give a lot of bonus points to the folks that are, I think, pulling all the stops out technically. But now we've also seen technical wonders on stage falter, like Malta 2018. They did a whole bunch of technical cool stuff on stage and they didn't qualify. But ultimately, I think Malta didn't qualify that year because the song wasn't that strong. The song was weak, Christabel's song. Let me hop into these comments. ESC Aussie, it looks like it'll be a fight between Croatia and Israel for that final spot. You might be right. I'm curious to see what Azerbaijan does, because I think Azerbaijan is going to be is actually going to qualify. And right now, Croatia might be taking Israel's spot. Croatia might be taking. I was putting Croatia and Azerbaijan on the cusp because really I thought Croatia was going to do what they did at the national selection. I think I've changed my mind. I think Croatia might be taking Israel's spot. From my predictions, when I did my predictions, I was sort of like, okay, Croatia and Azerbaijan are kind of on the cusp. But now I'm sort of like, Croatia might be taking Israel's spot. But I don't know. But I think with the notes that Eden is going to hit, and if you have commentators go, this might be the highest notes ever hit on the Eurovision stage, let's buckle up and see what we get. And I also said, like what I said earlier, some people can feel like when you have a lot of the bells and whistles on stage with all of the technical stuff, it can make people feel like, oh, this is too formulaic, this is too polished. And I think with Eden's performance, we are having the opportunity to really connect with her. She's really showing her personality. It is fun and engaging with her. And so maybe people will feel like, like a Cyprus or a Croatia, that's very this slick, polished thing, then maybe it's too slick and polished. But Cyprus is qualifying. So then really, I guess it's the question with Croatia at this point. Vulcan says, in a different universe, I see Australia qualifying. Yeah, a universe where COVID wasn't happening and they could be in the arena in person. Sep says, Israel will do well with the jury for sure. I do think so. But again, because the staging isn't using the bells and whistles, I wonder if some of those producers are like, well, they could have done more. Sergey says, I think Croatia is in. Honestly, after this performance, after Croatia's rehearsal, it is in. Now I'm just curious to see what Azerbaijan is doing. Because honestly, maybe Croatia will just mute out Azerbaijan. But that's not likely to occur. I mean, I think ultimately the thing is we're going to lose a bop. So which one will it be? And right now with Israel not using all the bells and whistles and, going off of this rehearsal, no, the vocal wasn't like really the whistle notes were there, but the regular vocal was kind of not completely there. And they definitely need to polish and iron out some of the kinks, which I believe that they will do. And this costume reveal, I do think we need a different costume as the reveal, or take what she has as the reveal and dye it and make it white or just some pop of color, or light it up, or add string some LED lights in it so then it lights up, something like that. Carol Radzik says, was Israel bad? Because bloggers seem a little bit disappointed. I don't want to say that I'm disappointed, but it's just more so because of what everyone else has served for their rehearsals and a lot of the technical stuff, the shows. Ireland is doing something so innovative. Cyprus's just looks so professional and slick. Croatia is like really giving us like a pop star, like Britney moment on the stage, girl group moment on the stage. And what Israel is doing, isn't technically, technically it's not using like augmented reality. We're not getting like any interactives with the LEDs. The styling is cool, but it's not necessarily like, it's not necessarily like a wow moment. And then we have a costume reveal where the revealed costume to me is not the right revealed costume. So I think people are just like, okay, it's not so much Israel's discredit as much as it is looking at what everyone else has done, and it's just so much. It's so much. So Carol says, so is it not enough impact? Basically, the whistle notes are impactful, but I would say the rest of the package feels, like something we've kind of seen before. Stephen, hey, I'm only catching up now on your videos and reactions. We'll hop in because we got so much. Gracie says, what the hell is happening? Oh, wait, what the hell is happening this year? I need everyone to qualify in semifinal 1 and more people to not qualify in semifinal 2. I deeply wish that we would have done a new draw. If we were going to get new songs, we should have done a new draw this year. We shouldn't have had the same draw as last year. I'm sorry. Nil Era, do you think Cyprus or Croatia might be more cold for the audience compared to Israel? I don't know. Cyprus is bringing a lot of heat. The warmth and the red tones are going to make it pop and engaging. Maybe some people, because I saw some people comment that they felt like Croatia's was maybe to produce. I did see those comments in my streams, but then I also feel like what she was doing was good. And it's sort of like the Clara Hammerstrom, Beat of Broken Hearts, where she has the interactive LEDs. It felt futuristic and out of this world. Non-active anymore, ass. Israel did not really create an environment on stage. Not really. And honestly, this is the other thing. I didn't say this. There are too many wide shots. Israel's doing a lot of wide shots. You're doing a lot of wide shots of a not that full arena. Too many wide shots. Croatia didn't have a ton of wide shots. Cyprus didn't either. And I think that's also contributing to the lack of connection maybe that some folks are feeling with Israel, even though Israel really, because Eden's doing all the moments, selling it to the camera. Ahmed says Romania has to bring it with the staging they do. Hugo says if Israel doesn't qualify, the guiltiest can, they don't want to win again. Poor Eden. Well, but I don't think Israel was ever in the running to win this year. But I think we needed Eden in the final. That vocal, and for her career as an artist, I think just that final stamp of qualifying in the Eurovision Song Contest would be really good. Andre says, we are going to lose a bop. We absolutely are. Chris, I'm sorry if I missed it, but are you going to be in the arena at any point? I am not. I'm in the States. Sep says, I think Romania might flop. Well, we'll see very soon. ESC Aussie, so the shots are making the staging look small, is it? Yes, it's making it look small, and it's taking away from those moments, honestly, that we can connect to Eden. That's really the issue. They're taking away from moments that we can actually connect with her, and we want to connect with her. Well, I'm gonna stop this live stream and get ready and gear up for Romania. I'm so excited to see what Roxanne is doing on the stage. Y'all know that Amnesia is one of my favorite songs this year, and I was nervous that maybe it wouldn't qualify just because of what we've got going on in the but we will see very soon. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, this is the moment. Subscribe to my channel. I've got so much content. I have online accreditation, so I'm able to see all the rehearsals. So we're going to keep this journey going. And obviously at the end of today, I'll be doing like a whole comprehensive live stream, and we'll be talking about not just what happened today, but we'll be talking about also what happened yesterday and really what the playing field for semifinal one is looking like. So thank you for joining the stream right now. I am going to sign off, hop back in, because once Romania goes live, I'll be back here to talk everything that I have about everything that I have to say about Romania's first rehearsal. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, join me back. I'll be back to talk about Romania. Bye.